What's going on, everybody? So I am super excited and want to welcome you to Ep.1 of the podcast that is Legacy's Journey. I'm going to be your host, your moderator, El Capitan, all of that. My name is Cameron Williams. I'm the owner of Kinley Consulting. I'm just excited. Like, part of me, I want to kind of... But we're going to get into it. So, let's see. House rules. First and foremost, we're thankful for each and every guest that we will have. Our goal and kind of our target, and mind you, I kind of got my prompt screens over here so I can kind of hit my notes and all of that. So if you see me looking over here, that's why. But our goal in doing this is to create... Let's back up some. So, Cameron, where did you come up with that name from? Why Legacy's Journey? For me, leaving a legacy is everything. Being African American, one, shout out to Black History Month. Being African American, I believe, is a great thing. But through history, like I look at my great grandparents and then my grandparents and then my parents. What legacy did they leave for me? Is it just principles, or is it principles plus something greater? You know what I'm saying? So for me, especially now being a business owner, I want to build something that I can leave to my kids. And I have 3, because I don't know, you may end up seeing them on here. So I'm going to introduce them. So I have 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. You got Kendall, Callie, and KO. But I want to leave them something, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be where they got to go out and work as hard as I did in terms of like starting from scratch. I want to be able to say, hey, here's something that dad built and take it to another level. You know what I'm saying? Times 10 it, make it national or international or expand it or add new things to it versus in my parents' case, because my parents had me super young as freshmen in college. Yikes. But I love you, Mom. Pops, I love you. But there was nothing they could leave me because they started out the gate. Like they had me and they just had to work, right? And my mom didn't finish college until years later. I'm talking about like when I was 22-ish. And my dad just never went back. So, they had to, whatever they have now, they had to work from the ground up to get it, work whatever kind of jobs. In my case, I was able to go to college, right? I was able to start off in my profession and get more and more experience and also end up where I am now. So for me, I want to take all of that and give it to the next generation and say, okay, hey, not that you don't have to work as hard because you're going to have to work hard to get whatever it is that you do, but start from here and then make it that much better. Use your new technology and skills and all of those things and make it even better than I did. So that's why, we're focusing on legacy. And then it's a journey, man. It's a journey to build something that you can yourself be proud of and that you'll be proud to leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't just want to leave them some little crap or something that barely does anything, doesn't make any changes, doesn't affect anybody's life in a positive manner. I want to leave them something that's worth it. And I know it's going to take me a while to get there. I know that it's going to be a long-term process. And so that's just kind of where the name came from, Legacy's Journey. I also have a vlog, so you can look that up on YouTube, which is Journey to Legacy. So that's kind of the flip there. But like, even if you look at like the logo, right? Because everything I do, I wanted to have purpose behind it. The logo, you see the mountains, right? That's the journey going ups and down, the peaks and the valleys of just not only life, but as a business owner. This is something that they don't prepare you for. In school, they don't teach you this road. I don't know, maybe they do now because maybe it's popular, but when I was in college back in 2008 through 2011 and master's was 2012, this wasn't a course. This is something it's literally on the job training, and every mistake can cost you a deal, a relationship, some of anything. So that's what the mountain represents. The lion, that was just a mindset that I tried to take when I first started. You'll hear that phrase. They're like, hey, you if you don't kill something, you're not gonna eat. So you can't eat what you don't kill. And if you ever study a lion, like on the Discovery Channel, Google it, YouTube it, I guess maybe even TikTok it. A lion, if he wants to eat, he has to go out and find his food. And it's not just finding the food. He has to figure out how to get that food and eat it. You see what I'm saying? So I've always kind of tried to take on that mentality. So that's why we got the lion there. And then creating something that outlives you. That's what leaving a legacy is. We want it to be something that you can look back and be proud of. Something that you can say, I put blood, sweat, and tears into it. And wow, look at how it's like blessing me and my family. And things of that nature. So that's a little bit on me. Been married to my beautiful wife, Ari Williams. As of today, it's been 9 years. So I'm super thankful for her. She's so encouraging. She just, babe, just do it. Try it. You got it. There's more in you than you think. So we're gonna have her on here, of course. So there's that. So let's get into a little bit more detail. So Cameron, you're doing a podcast. What is gonna make your podcast different? Everybody's doing podcasts now. And so let's kind of get into that. So first and foremost, Kinley Consulting. We are an consulting firm that basically focuses on strategic financial growth. So that can be focusing on your accounting, pricing, consulting, how you scale, how you run your team, operations, a little bit of marketing, getting into tax work. So some of everything, so to speak, but we're doing it with the intent of trying to help you to live your dream life. And when you say, what is your dream life? It's exactly what it says. If you could picture your dream life, what does that look like? Now, how do we get the business to support that and support you personally? So that's who we are. And, I have a couple of coaches, a couple of mentors, and they're always challenging me, pushing me to my limits, let me tell you. So shout out to my coaches and my mentors. So shout out to Jamie, shout out to Shanita, shout out to Yuri, shout out to Vanessa and Karen. But, they're like, hey, or one of my coaches, so this would be Yuri. Yuri's like, man, you got to do something different. You don't want to be classified as just another run-of-the-mill business owner or accountant or whatever, advisor. The way you can do that, put out a podcast, tell your side of the story, tell what you're really seeing, talk about how you really feel when you're helping these clients, get people in so that they can hear your heart and your story. And that in and of itself will make you different in the sense of, now you get to just show your side and your expertise, and not even my expertise, but we get to have some cool people. Like, we got some great guests already lined up. I'm super excited. I promise you, every single episode is going to be super dope. And I'm talking about people who help run, 8-figure companies, people who work with 6 and 7 and 8-figure marketing agencies, people who franchise, people who run master classes in sales, just some of everything. So I'm excited. I know we're going to bring y'all a ton of value, and that's what we're going to do. So there's that. Now, let's talk about who is kind of the target. So, of course, we're going to want to have people that own businesses on here. But I think to take it even a step further, we're looking for marketing agencies and coaches and experts. Because like I said, we want to be people that give value. I've never been the type of person, I just want to take. I'm a part of the marketing industry. That's the main niche that we focus and target. So yes, I want to learn every single thing I can to better serve my clients. But if I can find a way to give back, whether that's through a presentation, a speaking engagement, a webinar, or having some people that I know that are killing it and just very unique to how they approach it, come in and can share some of their secrets and how they make it and different things like that, I figure that'll help you a whole lot more than, just talking or not doing nothing. So there's that. Now, of course, like I said, these may be salespeople. So, right, because we want to get some of everything from every perspective. I don't know. I'm just super excited about that. So, I guess to get into a little bit of my story, and we're going to try to keep this episode a little bit shorter than it would be if we had guests. So, first and foremost, I guess just a little bit of my background. I'm Cameron, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. All my family's from the south side of town. Went to middle school and high school on the north side of town. So basically, you know the Migos, where they're from. My school was like one of their rivals, if that helps give you some type of clarity. Full at Valdosta State University, graduated in 3.5 years with my bachelor's in accounting and bachelor's in finance. Then went right back, got my master's in accounting. Started working for a public accounting firm that was local down in Valdosta. So shout out to Valenti, Rackley and Associates. If you're in South Georgia or North Florida, check them out. Those are my peeps right there. That's how I got my start, and that's where a lot of our concepts and strategies come from. Worked there about 2 years, got married to Ari. I knew her in high school. She came down to Valdosta. We started dating, and 3 years later we were married. Moved back up here to Atlanta in like 2014-ish. And of course started having kids, started making more money, moved into the private sector. So I've been in the energy, tech, software, payment processing fields. Got all the way up to being an accounting supervisor. And then they did layoffs, like the supervisor position for like all 4 or 5 divisions. We got laid off on the same day for the same reason at the same time, but we didn't know that until after the fact. So from there, did a lot of soul searching. And one day, by the way, if you didn't know, I love Jesus, so you may hear some of that in here. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, did a lot of soul searching, and I really felt like the Lord told me, hey, there are some talents, gifts, and abilities on the inside of you that you would not otherwise dig into if I allowed you to just jump right back into the workforce. So did some more soul searching, and then that's how Kinley got started. And we are now, as of this recording, at least 4.5 years old. Started in July 2018, and it's been a crazy journey ever since, but I've grown so much personally since then, even as a husband, a dad, and just as a better man, and of course a business owner. So there's that. My why is really my kids, and that's kind of where this topic or the name of the podcast came from, because I want to leave them something. I want them to be able to experience the things that maybe I could. Remember, told you my parents had me early, so it wasn't like we were flying all over the world and I was doing all this top-notch stuff. You know, I'm just now learning about that at my age. So I want, if my kids want to be able to travel or go play a top-level sport, that not only do we have the finances to do it, but I have the time and creative freedom to do it as well. So that's my why. Now, one of the things we're going to get into here, and you've seen me kind of talk about family already, is we want to talk about family, right? This is going to be kind of a huge thing here, because I've learned over time that the business doesn't just affect you. It affects every single person that's in your house, parents, etc. So I like to think back to like one of the things, a lot of people don't know this, but Kinley literally got started because of my wife. It wasn't like I was just a super genius and I came up with this dope idea. No, it was my wife. And she literally was like, why don't you just start your own company? And I was like, me, I just got laid off, girl. And so she's like, what does that have to do with what I said? And so I kind of just brushed it off my shoulder, you know, but months later started it. So that's how that came up. And along this journey, I would hope that my kids realize that, hey, if I work hard, I have the ability to go after and obtain anything that I put my mind to. I hope that they learn that mistakes are learning opportunities, and that yes, you may fall down, yes, you may hit a valley, but as long as you get back up and try your best to do better, that's what's important. Some of the things we like to do as a family, because I found that this is apparently I don't want to say unique thing, but a lot of different things. People will come to our different, I will go to these mastermind events and bring my family, and people are like, wow, like you're bringing your family. Yes. So traveling is cool for us. We do stories. We have game night. We just make up random songs and just literally bust out singing, trying to rhyme and dance and come up with songs. So those are some of those different things that we do just to keep it close throughout the day. Because, of course, I have a home office. So I try to, every so often eat lunch with them. I make their breakfast sometimes. Sometimes I'm the one that reads them stories. So you literally see that I'm in the middle of this recording and people want to call my name like, see, family. So there's that. So, family's huge to me. And these are the things that you have to deal with, especially after COVID. But it's all good, right? So there's that. Now, to be true to what I just said about family, y'all are literally about to hear this. So please hold. Yes. Okay, I don't need you to tell me that. She can do that on her own. Thank you. Go. And please don't interrupt next time. Thank you. Literally. Family-oriented entrepreneur. And you know what? I didn't even want to sit up here and pause it and try to cut that out because let's be honest. Y'all know how it is now. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of how it is. You try to structure your time in a way to where I can be hyper-focused on business and hyper-focused on family. But I've learned I thought that's how it works and it really doesn't. And it's so funny because you find out that I'm thinking this is just me. This is normal now, especially for a lot of marketing agencies. They're yeah, you work off and on, you got to take them to practice and do all these different things. So let's just be real. Y'all heard them in the background anyway, so it's not I can ignore it. Plus the camera's on, so there's that. Some of the top things I've learned so far in my ownership journey. Let me say it like this. Some of the top things being a business owner has taught me is you don't have to be the best or great at every single thing. And the world will kind of push you hey, you got to be the best at everything so you can just shut it down. No, I'd rather be super amazing at 2 or 3 things and outsource or delegate the rest because you only have so much mental capacity and brain power. So there have been opportunities where people are hey, come in on this business with me, or hey, why don't you add all these different things to your firm? And I'm I'd rather help somebody else eat and just give them that referral, because the time that I would have to take to learn that and be great at it is not gonna be as beneficial to me right now in the long term, when I can just partner with other people and continue to be great at what it is that I do, which is help businesses grow, scale, make more money, save on taxes, build their teams, work on their operations, versus the other way. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest things I've learned. And I think the other thing is, I don't think there's a such thing as work-life balance. There are some seasons where you're going to spend a lot more time with your family. And then there are other seasons where that time is kind of small and you just have to continually adjust and try to make up for that. So in my case, we do taxes for people. So there's a certain time of the year where my people know I'm not going to be as available, but I try to that next week and a half, 2 weeks, completely shut down my calendar and really try to make up for extra story times and things of that nature, just to kind of get that balance back. And like I said earlier, that's when you kind of do those lunches with them. Instead of doing lunch at my desk and trying to eat and work, I'm going to do lunch with them and give them some time. You know what I'm saying? Or take them outside to the park or different things of that nature. I've also learned that success is however you define it, because success for one person may not be the same thing as success for another person. When I first started, success looked like being able to pay all the bills on my own. And that's all I wanted. I was making a ton of money, got laid off. Let's just pay the bills. Now success is more giving back, making sure my team is above and beyond compensated more than the market rate. Success is growing our company and hitting our goals. So that's what success looks like now for me, versus back then it was just making enough money to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? And my goals have changed over time, right? Like this year we have 4 goals, and I'll read them to you. So I won't get super specific, but like it's make a certain amount of money, and it's more than 6 figures. How about that? So it's multiple 6 figures. This year we want to get into some in-person speaking engagements, get on some different stages and present and help more people at once. One of my goals was start the podcast. So here we go, episode 1. And then my last goal for this year is to give away 3 scholarships. And the amount doesn't really matter. It's more so, Cameron, just do it. Because a lot of times we can get so caught up in analysis paralysis, which I've learned. That's another thing that I have. Sometimes I get so caught up in all of the different possibilities that I get paralyzed by analyzing every different outcome and every different obstacle and what will it take to complete it. And I've learned, in being a business owner, you're going to progress the fastest by just doing it. The beautiful thing is you're a small company, so you can recover that fast. It's not going to take you that long. Like, okay, I made this mistake. All right, let me put a process in place. Let me put a system in place. Retry it. How can I help myself to succeed, etc. So those are some things that I've learned. What are maybe some practices that I've seen help me to be more successful? Time blocking has helped. So like set aside a block of time to, I'm going to do all my marketing and social media for 90 minutes. Or I'm going to do sales and follow-up calls for 30 minutes. Or I'm going to work on tax returns for 3 hours. Or I'm going to meet with my team for 30 minutes or 15. So that's been one. I think just staying true to myself and my own values has been a huge thing. We've been really big on like trying to get a lot of feedback from our clients, especially if we have to offboard them for whatever the reason, which isn't really that often anyway. But even not in offboarding them, but like just in yearly, hey, we're just asking because we want to check in and know. Like, you can tell that our clients value our values because they're, hey, your response time is great. You make things very easy to understand. You're patient. You spend time with us. Make sure we understand. You don't mind breaking it down in English, so to speak. So, and those are values. So we want to be able to communicate clearly because we understand that you're asking us for a lot. And we want to ask a lot of our clients. We want to demand a lot from them because that's the way that you become great. Any great person that you know, like think of Michael Jordan, LeBron, like to demand greatness, you have to push yourself. And so all of our clients know we love you. And I mean that because without them, you know, I can't feed my family. We can't eat. So we want to push them and we want them to engage with us, ask questions. You know, look at what we send you, make sure it makes sense so that you can take all of that information and use it to grow your company. So that's pretty much some of the lessons and things that I've learned over time. And I think I'm gonna leave it there. So how can you get in touch with us? So there's plenty of ways. You can connect with me on Facebook, of course, Cameron Williams. You can follow me on Instagram. That's kind of more inspirational, just kind of my thoughts, like just regular thoughts. At AYE_Cam Killin, KILLIN it. So I'm there. Of course, I'm on Twitter, the same thing. On TikTok, same thing. On LinkedIn, my first and last name. If you would like us for a speaking engagement, please shoot me an email and we'll post that. So that'll be Cameron@Kinley.com. And I think that's pretty much it. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited about building this podcast, bringing you guys on this journey. We already have some awesome guests lined up. Like I said, we're going to be talking about business, family, goals, lessons you've learned, things you would like to pass on to others. And of course, we want them to to promote their business, because I promise you I'm not going to have them on here if they can't bring you something that's going to change your life or your business. All right. So that's going to be one of the promises I make. On average, we're going to try to keep these episodes between probably 30 and 45 minutes. If we can get into a good rhythm and keep those a little bit shorter, then of course we will. I don't want to say ignore the background, but just know we're going to build this background out over time. Right now, we just have something we call these house rules. So, we'll have some different things. Hopefully, we'll make it look better. Each episode will get better and bigger. Will be fancier, have intros, outros, all kinds of things. Check social media for cut-ups and clips and shorts and stories and reels. But I promise y'all, this is going to be a dope ride. And by the way, let me say this too. Look, I'm from Atlanta. I know I kind of have a certain slang and way I talk. That's just me, right? I'm not going to be on here being somebody that I'm not. It's just me. I love y'all. I love people. Thank you so much for tuning into this first episode. I hope that you got something from it. I hope you were encouraged. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode. So that's all I got for you. I can't wait to see you guys for episode number 2. So yes, Kinley Accounting, Kinley Consulting, Walk by Faith. By the way, shout out to Height Swag. They did this hat for me, y'all. Look at this. Got the logo right there. Walk by Faith, because you got to do that.